Did my favorite Italian restaurant at Disney World just get better? Today, we're at Disney's Boardwalk Resort to check out Trattoria al Forno's new dinner menu. There's new appetizers, entrees, desserts, and we're ordering them all. So let's go find out if these new additions are actually good. Now, you guys already know I love Trattoria, so as soon as I saw they changed up their menu a bit, I knew I had to come check it out. And it's pretty cool because today I got a 5 o'clock reservation, so the restaurant just opened. We're some of the first people in here, and I don't think I have ever seen the restaurant this empty before. But let's talk about this new menu, because I know, like me, a lot of you guys are probably fans of Trattoria as well. And don't worry, all of the fan favorite dishes are still around. In fact, I don't think they really got rid of any of the appetizers, the main courses, the pizzas, the sides. They really didn't get rid of anything on this menu. They kind of just added things to what they already had, at least from what I can tell. And the first of our new menu additions are actually going to come on the beverage menu and not in the alcoholic section. They're actually going to be in the non-alcoholic section down here, the Royal Berry Spritzer, as well as the Enchanted Grove Lime Splash are brand new to the menu. And if you look down there, they also have that Peche Repose, which I got over at Topolino's not long ago and loved. I totally thought that peach drink was exclusive to Topolino's. I didn't know it was kind of like a mocktail that was at a couple of different restaurants, but I gotta say, I am very happy to see it here because I absolutely loved that drink. It was probably like my favorite non-alcoholic drink mocktail that I have ever had at Disney World. I will definitely be getting that again whenever I see it. But in the spirit of trying all of the new things today, we are going to be getting the 2 new non-alcoholic drinks on this menu. And these 2 new non-alcoholic drinks aren't exclusive to Trattoria. They added these drinks to a lot of the different menus around property. So if you don't drink alcohol, these might be something that you want to look into getting. So I'm going to try them out and let you know how they are. We've got both our drinks here and they're both looking good and bubbly. And I got to say, I'm happy we're getting a little refresh on the mocktail menu here. I think there needs to be better mocktails all around at Disney World. There needs to be better mocktail representation. And I hope it doesn't just end with these 2 if they're good. I hope there continues to be like more around property. So let's start by trying this Enchanted Grove Lime Splash. This has Minute Maid Limeade with flavors of cucumber and mint for $6.29. I don't know about you, but this doesn't look much like limeade. It looks more like water. It's very light to be a limeade, but we'll see how it tastes. I think they could have went for it a little bit more with that lime and that cucumber flavor. I mean, I guess I'm happy that it doesn't taste too much like Minute Maid Limeade because I feel like that would make this just really sweet. It really does just taste like a mojito, though. The mint flavor is really what shines in this, but it's nothing super special. I mean, if you're craving a mojito without the hot alcohol, I guess this will do the trick here. Now we have this Royal Berry Spritzer, which is blackberry, pomegranate, and lime, blended with Topo Chico, blueberry hibiscus sparkling water for $6.59. I'm thinking this one here is going to have a little bit more flavor. And I definitely want to give this one a stir because I think all those berry and pomegranate flavors are on the bottom there. There we go. This one is definitely a little bit more up my alley. The flavors of the pomegranate and the blackberry taste fresh. It tastes like freshly muddled fruit. And I am so happy that we're getting more Topo Chico representation here at Disney World because they have Topo Chico all over the place at Disneyland, and my friends and I always love getting Topo Chico lime from all the carts around Disneyland and walking around Disneyland with Topo Chico, and we don't have it like anywhere around Disney World, so I love to see it in one of the drinks here. But yeah, this is really refreshing. This is really good. I don't know if it's better than that Peche Repose that they have on the menu, but this is definitely better than the other drink that we had. So now that we've got our drinks, let's go over the most important part, this new menu. As for the appetizers, the calamari and charcuterie board are still here. They have a new garlic pull-apart bread that appeared on the menu just a couple of months ago, and just a couple of days ago, this Minestrone Soup appeared. They still have the caprese salad and the tomato bruschetta and the Caesar salad. And moving on to the mains. The lasagna, the shrimp pappardelle, the chicken parm, the short rib are still here, and you'll see our new entree. the rigatoni with meatballs. I honestly don't know how they never had a meatball dish on the menu, but somehow they didn't, and that is our new entree. They still have the plant-based bolognese, the strip steak, and the seasonal fish, as well as the fan favorite truffle gnocchi. They have the pizzas. The seasonal pizza, as of right now, is like a vegetable pizza. It has a ton of different vegetables on it. And we also have a new side. The cacio e pepe arancini are brand new. I'm excited to try those out. They still have the shrimp scampi and the olives. So I, of course, have my favorites, things that I usually tend to get. As for appetizers, I always like the calamari, and I think their charcuterie board is pretty good. I'm still very upset they got rid of the mussels. I think they had the best mussels on property, but they are no longer here. Those are my go-to appetizers. As for entrees, I like the shrimp pappardelle, and the chicken parm I feel like you really can't go wrong with. Those are my go-to entrees. And, of course, the truffle gnocchi is great as well. And sometimes I like to get the chicken parm and put some of that truffle gnocchi sauce, the truffle cream sauce, on the chicken parm. Because if you didn't know, you could actually add some of that truffle cream sauce onto your chicken parm. If you ask them, they'll have no problem doing that. But those are usually my go-tos. Today, we're gonna change it up and try all of this new food. Starting with this minestrone soup. This has cannellini beans, vegetables, pasta, Italian herbs, and spinach for $12. If I'm being very honest, this does look very reminiscent of Progresso canned soup, but we'll give it a go. There's a ton of onions on here, and I do like this touch of shaved Parmesan on top here. And I gotta say, this bowl is also huge. I expected a way smaller bowl, so I'm very happy with the portion here. Try it out.
So many choices.
Here's the thing, the flavor of this is really good. The tomato broth is seasoned perfectly. I really like the flavor of it. I think the proportion of everything is really off. There's a ton of carrots, a ton of onions in here, and honestly a lot of green beans, and a ton of like tomato chunks in here. But there's not a lot of pasta or beans. So I wish the proportion of all of those other ingredients was a little bit better. I'm honestly surprised Trattoria didn't have a soup on the menu before this. And I as good as I think the broth is, I just don't think it's anything spectacular, especially when I think there's better appetizers on the menu. It just doesn't really stand out. It's really just cut up vegetables and a good seasoned tomato broth. And I don't even know if it's better than Olive Garden. And I usually have very high praises for Trattoria. So it's a good portion, but good portion of soup, but I don't know if I would get this again. So onto this pull-apart garlic bread that's served with whipped ricotta and brick oven tomato jam, pesto di limone, and Sicilian olive oil for $14. Now you guys know my thoughts about paying for bread at a restaurant. Not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it, especially when they do have bread included at this restaurant. A bread that I think is very, very good that's included at this restaurant. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to be. It's going to have to be really good to kind of justify paying for bread at a restaurant. One thing I do really like about this bread, though, is that it's served with an array of dipping sauces. It has ricotta, pesto, and some of that olive oil as well, which I think is going to bring a different kind of aspect to this. So we'll pull off a little piece of our bread here. Okay, yeah, there's some cheese inside. There's all that garlic. It does look good. I gotta say, it does look good, I must admit. And I am a sucker for some ricotta, so the first dip that I want to try with our bread is some ricotta cheese. I mean, this is some good bread. It looks good, and I gotta say, it tastes just as good as it looks. The bread is really nice and fluffy. You can kind of see just how fluffy that bread is, but the top of it has a great crisp to it. It's cheesy. It has a good amount of garlic flavor. I could always use more garlic. I am like a garlic lover, so I could use extreme overpowering garlic, but it has enough to like satisfy me. And I love ricotta cheese, so I love this addition here, and I'm actually gonna double do it. Ricotta and pesto. I think that's going to be a good combo there. The pesto is nice and fresh. You can really taste that lemon flavor. They say pesto di limon. You can taste that lemon. It's delicious. And I really like the taste of that olive oil that they're using in there as well. I wish they served a pasta with that pesto because that is some delicious pesto. So yeah, this is some good garlic bread. Would I feel the need to get it every time I came here? Probably not, because it's pretty expensive, and like I said, they do have some good complimentary bread service here already that you do not have to pay for. But if you want to try it or you're a little extra hungry, it's good bread. And it takes a lot for me to say that, because like I said, I'm against paying for bread at restaurants. There are very few restaurants around property that I think it's actually worth it to pay for bread. Tony's in Magic Kingdom is one of them. And I guess Trattoria, every once in a while, is worth it as well. But since we're talking about the included bread service, I wanted to show you guys this as well. Now, what I love about this included bread service is that the ciabatta rolls that they serve always come out nice and fresh and hot. And it's served with this olive oil that's infused with roasted garlic and some balsamic. It is so good when you get some of that garlic and you kind of like crush it onto your bread there. If you're a garlic lover like myself, it's really good.
So that trio of dips was so outstanding that we were wondering if you could just order that on the side, because you could use their ciabatta rolls to dip in that, because their ciabatta rolls are really good. But we asked and he said no, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were thinking that would be like a little hack to get some of the garlic bread, but for like a little bit cheaper, because yeah, those dips are like delicious. The garlic bread on its own is great, but the dips honestly make it even more. And man, I really wish they had like a pesto pasta here, because that pesto, as much as I love ricotta, that pesto is the best one. We might even have to save these dips to like put on our entrees actually. And speaking of entrees, everything has arrived and is looking really good. We got the new stuff, and you might be noticing, I also got something that isn't quite new, but I wanted to give another shot. We're gonna try our brand new entree first, the Meatball Rigatoni. This is served with a scratch-made veal, pork, and beef meatball, served with Parmigiano Reggiano, crispy prosciutto, rustic tomato sauce, and basil pesto for $31. It's really funny how we were talking about how we wish there was a pesto pasta on the menu. Turns out there's a little bit of pesto on our pasta here. But let's crack into this meatball, and I could see my mom cringing from across the table, and in her head she's saying, I don't eat anyone else's meatballs but my own. Let's see how soft it is. Okay, it is quite hard. That is her first identification in a good meatball. And it was very hard to break into, but I could see some of the Italian herbs and such. You could see the steam coming out. It still looks good, although it was very tough. I need to get a little more sauce on here. Mom, it's better than your meatballs.
You're a liar.
No, it is good though. The flavor's good, and I feel like I thought it was a lot tougher when I was cutting into it than it actually is while I'm eating it. The flavor's good. It's nice and moist, seasoned really well. I like it.
I really don't know. It's so hard. Oh my god, I can't. So I make my meatballs out of beef. This is pork. I think it's a pork beef combo of some kind. Meatloaf mix, which I don't like meatloaf either. There's no sauce though. It needs some. No.
I guess if you're not as picky about your meatballs, you would like this. And actually, I just got a bite with some of that pancetta, that crispy pancetta on top, and added a really nice salty bite. I thought that was delicious. A really good, interesting touch that I would have never thought to add on here. As for the red sauce, I definitely think it could use more. Like this meatball, let me show you the bottom of this. Really dry. And a lot of the pasta is a little bit dry as well. So I think it could use more red sauce, although the red sauce that it does have is quite tasty. I want to try this pasta here. Get some of the pesto too.
Water refill, guys.
I mean, the combo of the red sauce and the pesto is good. We already knew the pesto was good because we had it with our garlic bread earlier. So yeah, I wish they still made their pasta in-house though. They used to make pasta in-house and they don't anymore, so this is just your plain old rigatoni. Overall, it's a little pricey for like one meatball and some rigatoni, but if you're craving pasta and meatballs, I mean, it's solid. Okay, now we're moving on to the Lasagna al Forno, which has blended Italian cheeses, beef, veal, pork, and herb ricotta for $35. Remember we were talking about my redemption dish that I was going to order? This is it. Years and years ago, when we used to come to Trattoria as a family, I used to order the lasagna. And it was honestly the only lasagna that I liked back then because I was never a big fan of lasagna. But this one was special. It was so different. It was served in a very interesting presentation. It was like 3 towers of lasagna rolled up individually, and it was so good. I ordered it every time I came here. And then one time I came here, I ordered the lasagna, and it came out in a square. Just how lasagna is served typically when you eat it at home. And I was like, what is this? I was so confused when it was placed in front of me. And I was informed that they just changed up the way they served the lasagna. I was told they didn't change the recipe or any of the ingredients, they only changed the presentation. But I always felt like it never tasted the same since then. And ever since then, I had never tried it again. So this is my first time trying it since years ago when I had this new presentation for the first time. So we're gonna see if maybe it's improved a little bit since then, and I'm really hoping it has, because lately I have been on like this massive lasagna kick where I've been loving lasagna. So I'm really hoping this is good. And there's like some toasted breadcrumbs and some bechamel sauce on here. It looks great. There's a ton of layers, and this is a humongous piece. Like, this bowl is heavy. This is huge. Well, this lasagna has officially been redeemed. This is really good. Maybe I got a bad batch that first time I got it served as a square or something, because this is really good. The pasta is cooked perfectly al dente. There is so much meat in here and so much cheese. Like, this is like, it's so filling, this piece of lasagna, and it's so huge. I am going to have so much left over to take home. And I love that addition of the bechamel sauce on top to make it extra creamy and extra cheesy. The breadcrumbs on top are great. The crust on the back is nice and crispy. The tomato sauce there is so nice and sweet. This is some great lasagna. And now I'm mad at myself for waiting all these years to try it again. But now all I need is a little Caesar salad. Every time I have lasagna at home, I need to have a bag of this, like a Caesar salad kit with it. It just, lasagna and Caesar salad go hand in hand with me. I need to have a Caesar salad with my lasagna, but man, if you want lasagna, come over here to Trattoria and get it, because this is so damn good. I might order that over the shrimp pappardelle and the chicken parm these days. Oh no, I really like that. Maybe that's just because I'm in my lasagna era right now or something, but I'm really impressed. Now the final thing we have left to try is the side of cacio e pepe arancini. This is served with a chive citrus aioli and pecorino romano for $16. My mom wants to cheers arancini. Cheers. All right, let's break into this rice ball here. Cacio e pepe. I was expecting to see some like black pepper flakes or something on the inside there, but I'm really not seeing any. The best part about this is that it is really crispy on the outside, and I also feel like all of the flavor is coming from the breadcrumbs that's on the outside. There's a little bit of seasoning in them, and there is some Parmesan cheese on the outside as well, because I feel like on the inside, there's really not much seasoning, unfortunately. Cacio e pepe, I expected a lot of cheese and a lot of black pepper. And I mean, there's like really not even a singular speck of black pepper on the inside here. So I am a little bit confused with this one, but they're really crispy. And I feel like with arancini, that at the end of the day is the most important part. And the rice on the inside is nice and moist. All right, Mom, go ahead and give a dip in that chive citrus aioli, because I am not going to give it a go, but you have to let everyone know how it tastes.
Okay. It's very green. It's very citrusy. I do feel like you need something to dip this in, because if you look at the inside of this, it's just rice. It doesn't have like that cheesiness, or there's no meat in it or anything. So you need something to bring the flavor out, because it just tastes like rice to me.
And since I am not going to use this dipping sauce, we were smart and we saved our dipping trio from the garlic bread. So we still have some pesto. And I'm going to use some of that pesto on our rice ball here, because it definitely needs a little kick in flavor. Now all I taste is crispy pesto rice. So once again, no cacio e pepe flavor, but it definitely could be worse. My mom and I were talking. We're going to give another compliment to the Italy booth, which I can't believe this is happening, but the arancini that they have for the Flower and Garden Festival is actually better than this. Can't believe I'm saying this. It was the first thing I liked from the Italy booth in ages. And it's better than this. That's really surprising.
It had more flavor.
Yeah, it had more flavor.
But it wasn't as crispy.
It was not as crispy.
Yeah,
this wins in the crispness category, but flavor-wise, Italy wins. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, we are moving on to desserts, and we do have a new dessert on this menu as well. The new dessert in question is this milk chocolate panna cotta, so we're going to grab that. They also have tiramisu, house-made gelata, and a plant-based lemon ricotta cake. It actually sounds really good. It's very tempting. But since it's new, we have to try this milk chocolate panna cotta with pistachio biscotti, raspberry reduction, and dark chocolate sauce for $10. All right, this is looking pretty good. So let's crack into it here. I'm not sure what this is going to look like on the inside. Okay, we've got a bit of a chocolate shell on the bottom. I'm assuming cake there. Yeah, it's like a chocolate cake on the bottom, and then I'm assuming the panna cotta is what's on top. Truth be told, I am not the biggest fan of panna cotta, so we'll see how this goes here. This is a panna cotta that I like, but I don't think I like it for panna cotta reasons. I like it because of the cake on the bottom, paired with those really sweet, sugary raspberries. Any type of like rich chocolate situation paired with a sweet berry, I love. And that's what you're getting here. But I'm trying this panna cotta on its own, and it really doesn't have much flavor. But when you get the chocolate with like that berry and the berry compote that's on it, that's good. I'd probably skip this one though, and I'd prefer to just grab a sundae at the Boardwalk ice cream shop outside probably, or even I'd walk over to Beaches and Cream. I mean, it's good, but it's just not like anything spectacular.
I probably wouldn't get this again, but what I would do is get the gelato from here, because it is really good, and I remember it was like a huge portion. I feel like we had it for a birthday once, and we all shared it. It's like 3 or 4 scoops, and it wasn't that expensive.
With that, we are done with dinner, and trying the new menu at Trattoria al Forno wasn't much of a success. We tried every single new addition, and out of everything that we tried that is new as of the past couple of days, the only thing that I would probably order again would be one of the mocktails, the royal berry spritzer. Now, of course, that is not counting the garlic bread or the lasagna, because those have been on the menu for a little bit longer, and the lasagna has in fact been on the menu for a while. So that's not counting those. But all the new stuff just wasn't that impressive. And that just might be a testament to how good all of the stuff that has been on the menu is, because I think everything that has been on the menu at Trattoria is just a lot better than a lot of the new additions that we had. So maybe the new menu items weren't much of a success, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't dine at Trattoria, because the rest of the menu is very, very good, and I still highly recommend it. So that is going to do it for us here tonight at the Boardwalk. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I really appreciate your support. As always, if you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.